Everything you see here is strictly informational. Forex is a high-risk business. Please do not place trades with more money than what you don't have. Please do not trade other people's money. Do not borrow any money than what you cannot trade with. And please take everything that I say as a personal opinion. I am not considered a financial advisor. I'm not considered a broker. I am just one here simply recording my journey along learning the markets.
All right, what's up, everybody? It is myself again, and my name is Ted, and I am with Bodies and Wicks. Hey, Bodies and Wicks. I told you time and time again what it is. It's a candle. And what I do in my videos is I do an analysis of forex pairs, equities market, whatever I feel is relevant, and whatever I feel that we can probably make money into going into this following week. Primarily, my focus has been on EURUSD and GBPUSD, as well as UCAD. Mainly because I want to focus on a few, and before I branch out to many. I have been learning a lot from ICT. If you don't know who that is, it's Inner Circle Trader. Looking stuff up on YouTube. And I'm basically taking what he teaches and trying to apply it to our markets that are happening today. I did that a lot with EURUSD this past week, and I just did a video on EURUSD called The Swing Trade, and nailed every bit of it, and as well as got a lot of scalping trades, other entries along the way down during the swing trade. So focused a couple things on GBP USD, not too much this past week, but there was a couple ones that I did call, and I do want to do kind of a top-down analysis. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? All right, this is a monthly trade. Before I get into the monthly trade, I do want to show you what I did call as far as GBP USD is concerned on my own accord. If you don't follow me on TradingView, please do. I am Tedzily. You can see right here, TEDZILY. And whenever I saw this trade, it happened October 18th, so it's been quite some time since it's now November 1st. Whenever I saw this trade, I thought I had missed the entry because I saw what looked like equal highs, and that we had we didn't break a low, and I drew a fib that we broke a short-term high, and since we broke a short-term high here, I drew a fib, and that fib led me to an order block right at about the 71%, right? And so I thought that was the perfect entry, and I thought I had missed it. And so I thought if I got close enough, I'd go ahead and enter. If I got below the 50, I was going to enter, which it was right at the 50. So I was about to enter, but I still had my order set just in case. And if you hit play on this, you will notice that not only did I get the entry again, but I blew this one out of the park. So I feel like my skills at reading price action have gotten a lot better, and this is why you should listen to me. No, this is why I do this channel, because I record everything I've been learning, and I hope that what I've been learning can help other people. And again, a lot of it has to do with the inner circle trader and what he's been teaching me. So as you can see, what I have pulled up here now is a monthly chart of the GBPUSD. Since we just finished with the month, we are in November 1st. Don't mind the markings. So what we're just going to do, take a look at this. And what I like to look at is the buyer, or sorry, not the buyer, the maker market buy or sell model. Which one are we in? It kind of looks like we are in the middle, especially if we previously go back. We are probably at the bottom of the market maker sell model. Or actually it would be now the buy model. It looks like we hit the bottom and now we are probably going up into a sell model, or we are somewhere in between the midst of a sell model. What that means is that basically your accumulations don't happen at the exact same time at the exact same place. They leave spaces. Here was the height, it made a little accumulation here, dropped down, made a little accumulation down here, came back up, made a little accumulation here, dropped back down. And as you can see, it's not like line for line. They're not, all lined up together. But that's just also in a monthly chart, especially if we look at in a weekly chart, you can probably see it in a little bit of a better light. So as you can see, there's accumulation here. It jumps up. There's a little bit more of accumulation here. And it jumps up. A little accumulation here. And then it jumps up here. Accumulation. And then it goes down. And accumulates kind of in between these two. And then, it kind of has the same accumulation range. Just has a little bit of a dip. And then it dips down even further. Kind of making equal lows. And whenever you see equal lows, especially in a buyer maker or any kind of ICT, that just tells you, hey, guess what? It's going to get broken. Sure enough, that did get broken. This is not when I was paying attention. I was more paying attention into these weeks through here. All right, third time's a charm. I don't know what happened the first time. For some reason, it cut me off after about 7 minutes of recording. After I went to go put it up on, my iMovie and put it together. I have no idea. It just cut off the video. I went back to record more, and for some reason, I recorded myself instead of actually the chart. So this time, I put it on the charts first. To make sure that I was actually recording the charts. Anyways, I was talking about the maker market sell model, where the accumulation happens and how it doesn't always accumulate in the same spot twice, and where the bias is from here. Now, as a monthly bias, I think we are done with the bottom. We are going to be heading toward the top. As I see, we have the monthly equal highs. And I think that is exactly the direction that we're going to be going. I do have a monthly order block down here. As you can see, this big red candle, and I have it outlined here with the gold. This is where the monthly order block is. And I think if we're going to be trading, we'll be trading down lower into this order block before going up higher. I know you see a lot of lines on my chart. And that was because I was going through a lot of stuff before I realized I was not being recorded. So I'll go ahead and explain that here in just a second. But I believe this is the monthly chart that we were looking at. So let's go. I'm not going to worry about the weekly because, I guess we could do the weekly because what the weekly is going to do is it's going to kind of show you the same thing. That we have kind of been predisposed in, in different accumulation areas, and that don't stay in the same spot. So, except for up through here for some reason. Again, I don't believe in trend lines. I'm not going to say, oh, look at this trend line go down through here. Anybody can put 2 points of lines together and call it a trend line and think they're a genius. It has nothing to do with trend lines. It has everything to do with price action. So, and points of resistance, and where the market is tend to going to be tending to going to. And when I say resistance, I mean your typical your main points of resistance, where things typically kind of change and turn around, because all support and resistance are not the same. If you ever tried putting a trade at the exact same spot to where it's traded to and rejected off of twice, if you did it a third time, more than likely it doesn't do that. It goes right through that trade, and there's a reason why. But as you can see, we've had different points of accumulation throughout the weeks. Definitely not the same kind of resistance that you're typically used to. Let's go to the daily now. And the reason I go to the daily is because I have these marked out as far as daily highs are concerned and daily lows are concerned, because that's what price likes to go to. They likes to go to take out either previous day's lows, previous day's highs. Highs I have marked out in red, lows I have marked out in blue. Green is usually some kind of either breaker block, either order block, or some kind of breaker. There are no breakers that I am aware of, and especially GBPUSD. Most of those have been in Euro USD. The breaker I did have was down here on the monthly breaker, the monthly high, the monthly low, but I don't think we're going to get down that far. I did have a weekly breaker, or a weekly order block, which I think is going to be right along in here. At least that's where it was last time. I remember when it came up, and then took out what was previously highs. It came back down. I remember seeing that because that was around the 70.5% retracement, which is the ultimate trade entry, and I knew it was going to trade higher from there. So that being said, now you can see the committed traders. Committed traders has been going long. It took out less longs, of course, this past week, because we did see a lot of shorts enter this past week. But as you can see, as of the 27th, it did started adding more longs. 27th was about halfway through, so you can see they're anticipating more longs coming up. So that is why my bias coming up is going to be going long on the GBPUSD. That being said, let's break this down into the 4-hour and see if we can't find a little bit more evidence of that. And it generally has to do with the equal highs, equal lows, and which there are some equal lows just below where we are currently at. And if I can draw the fib to show you, I will, if it would load. And for some reason it is not loading. One second, let me see what is going on here. Yes, reload. Why is it not wanting to respond? I have no idea. Here it goes. Maybe it'll respond now. I was watching the game earlier. Maybe I should just turn that off. hold on. You know what? Maybe I can do this. Maybe since is already up, and I can just go to GBPUSD. Or maybe not. Alright, well, great. Give me 5 seconds, or however long it's going to take me to do this, considering it's the third time that I've done this. And I will be... Whoa, hold on, something moved. And, of course, as soon as I turn it off, it comes right back on. Anyways, back to the daily. So, again, I have the dailies marked off. And I think we were going to be looking at the 4 hour. In fact, I'm just going to jump into the 15-minute. And the reason I'm jumping into the 15-minute is because breakers that I have already had set, it looks like it has bounced off of those. Right, came back down through, so I can get rid of this breaker. And then now it's come back down through. I have another breaker that it is bounced off of. And then we have equal lows here. We have equal highs here. And the interesting thing is that if we draw a fib, right? If we draw a fib from here down to the bottom part here, it comes back up into the optimal trade entry. A 70.5% retracement is definitely an optimal trade entry. Let's just say you go to the store and you want something and you get it for 20% off. Would you rather have it for 75 or 70.5% off or 20% off? More than likely 70.5% off. Are you going to get any less than that? Yeah, sure, sometimes. Are you going to get any more than that? Yeah, sure, sometimes. But you know what? 70.5% is a definitely good deal. So, for some reason, 70.5% is generally almost the sweet spot whenever you're coming into an optimal trade entry. You can get better or worse deals, but generally 70.5 is about the best you're going to get. If you do encounter a 70.5% trade entry, you're usually always wanting to get back to 100% of that trade. Meaning that if you didn't enter in on this trade, which most people or institutions do, they want to see it get back to here, and it usually does. That being said, it usually also gets back, to at least an extension further. And the first extension it goes to is the 127%, which is this line right here. Now, I do have these two greens marked off, and I'm still trying to figure out what exactly they are. I think it looks like they are, well, definitely some order blocks. Looks like this is the top of an order block. This is probably the bottom of the order block. And then the yellow is going to be halfway through that order block. So, halfway through the order block, getting close to the 127% extension, I think is going to be close enough. So I think if we're going to be using this as a trade, this is going to be predispositioned to go through this trade, probably hit halfway through this order block before it turns around and goes the other way. So that's what I would expect from GBPUSD. Even though there are these highs just sitting up here waiting to be taken, I do think we are definitely going to be going lower, probably getting around to this, and I believe it's the 1.28500 level, pre-baked in level as a support level. I would expect it to get close to that. It doesn't always have to hit that, that support level. That's the thing about support. It doesn't always have to hit it just to be support. It can come near it. So what it can do is it can clear this low, right? This blue line, which is a daily low, can clear this blue low. Doesn't have to always hit this yellow line, which is the exact support, before it turns around and goes back the other way. So I'm still waiting on this to go back down here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and probably set some kind of buy limit through here, and probably set some kind of stop loss just below this here, because I do think once it gets down here, it's going to take off, and we're going to start seeing these being taken out here above. And the reason I say that is because it also kind of coincides with the Euro USD kind of model that I have. I think it's still going to get a little bit lower before it gets higher. So I think they're both kind of predispositioned into doing the same thing. So we'll see what happens. Again, I think, of course, it's going to have to break below these equal lows. Get into this order block, take out this other low, because once it takes out this low, right, and let's go back to this daily thing, there's no low that it's going to go to for quite some time. I take that back. GBPUSD does have quite a few lows lined up, one right after another. But I just don't see it trying to take out all of these, because we already just came back from this order block, that it came down to. So it came down as low as it could, came down to the order block. It came up here, it bounced back, and then it bounced up, it bounced back. And I think that's what we're going to continue kind of seeing going forward. Is that the same exact thing? Is that we're going to get high, we're going to come low, we're going to hit some kind of support level or order block before we continue going higher, and then breaking these highs. Now, once we get back up in here, that's going to be a different question, because we are going to hit this order block right here, right? There's the order block that we're going to hit. So we're going to have to somehow hit this high and this order block at the same time, probably bounce back, and we're probably going to hide around this area for a while, right? But as of right now, what I'm leading to is that we are going to eventually start, even though it looks like we're predispositioned to go higher, I think we're going to have to eventually go lower before we go higher. But hopefully it didn't cut me off that time. At least I don't think it did. No, it still looks like it's recording. So that is the good thing that we have. If we wanted to go over one more thing, I guess we could go over USD CAD. Let's see here. I was on crypto. Let's go for crypto here for a second. We can go to forex, and let's go to USD CAD. USD CAD, I did call quite a few weeks ago, and it looks like it almost got to where I wanted it to, but I had taken most of my profits already before I came back down. Mainly because I was looking off of this weekly order block is that I was looking off of. I was looking off this weekly order block, came off of it. I got most of this big run here, and then I started focusing on Euro USD whenever it started falling, and I should have been looking at also US CAD when it started rising as well. But we're going to be looking at US CAD. I know I have these different take profits here, as because it's what I did take them whenever we were there. It's going to be looking at the same thing. I think we're going to be going predisposition to go higher before we go lower, because I still think it still has to clear these equal highs. We are very close to these equal highs up here, around this 1.34200 level. There's that 200 level that's already baked in. Once we get past that 34200 level, then I think we're going to start seeing some kind of rejection. As you can see, above this 34200 level, we do have some kind of breakers right? So we have some breakers coming up here. And that would be somewhere around the 3.45 800 level. So we could go from the 342 to the 348 level. A good 600 pips that, we're looking at free range there. Could see some struggles along the way with these areas in here. Sorry, not that. I meant to do this, right? So we could see this cause some trouble for sure. But I think once we get up to around here, right, that is where we'll probably finally start to see, it actually bounce back and go the other way. So just like the others, I think, like I said, we're probably going to go lower before we go higher. Here, I think we're probably going to go higher up to here before we go lower. So just my 2 cents on USD CAD, and the same with the COT. As you can see, COT, they are actually starting to go short. A little long. Looks like they're starting to add a little bit more shorts. If they're starting to add a little bit more shorts, that means they know we're going to eventually get down lower than where we are now. So if they think we're going to get lower than where we are now, it's going to, they're taking a bet that it's probably going to get a little bit higher. Of course, they're going to be adding longs and stuff, but to be net short to where they are now, or almost net short to where they are now, they know it's probably going to be just a little bit lower than where we are now. So I think right now, especially in the buyer maker model sell model, we're going to end up somewhere around here, right? If not here, then maybe just a little bit lower, just because of all those wicks and everything. And we do see kind of this volume imbalance right here. Let me turn this off. We do kind of see this volume imbalance, right? I do think that we could go up and kind of see this path take us righteously. Where did that thing go? Could get here, reject off. Everybody thinks, oh no, we're gonna reject it off, and then this is the cool part, because right here I can already see the breaker. Right, you can already see the breaker forming right here. As soon as it zips past this, we form the breaker. It turns around, it hits this breaker, and then once it hits this breaker, it comes back up. Then it hits this breaker, and then it trades back down. Well, we'll probably end up staying right here for a while, lingering, and then we'll probably end up coming back down here for a while, lingering, and then we'll probably come back down here, and then we'll stay. And then where we go from there, I don't know. But to me, this looks like that would be the perfect buyer market maker sell model for this one here, because that would be the sell model, because we are right here, and it is going to eventually sell to get lower, and that sell to get lower is going to be in this area. All right, so those are my 2 cents, and I hope you guys enjoyed my videos. I hope I brought a little bit of hope I didn't confuse you too much, but then again, like I said, everything I do learn is off of ICT, the Inner Circle Trader. If you haven't watched any of his videos yet, what I try to do is I try to take what he teaches and then put it in everyday application to what's happening into the forex market. So if you're not understanding what a breaker is or an order block is, I would suggest that you go through his videos, and then you can kind of follow along with the concepts that I'm trying to bring into his teaching, into what is going to be happening, forecasted into these markets. I can't say I know everything. I'm still learning. I'm still a student, but I have been, putting some stuff on TradingView that has come to fruition, and I've actually been pretty happy about that. There have been times where I have been like, oh, look at this. This looks like this is going to happen, and I put a trade on, GBPUSD, and I wake up the next morning and I have 50 pips, and I'm like, yep, okay, cool, that's awesome. So if you think I'm giving any kind of value, please give this thing a thumbs up. That would be great. Because if people scroll by and they see this video and they have no idea what it's about, but they do see a thumbs up, they're more inclined to watch it. So that's what's really cool. So if you do think I'm doing a good job, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll be trying to come out with more as soon as I can. And hopefully, we can, especially what I want to do is I want to kind of grow a team, especially people that are, more inclined to learn from ICT. A couple of us do, have one or two pairs that we look at and we can kind of work together and kind of give each other notes of, where we should be looking for as where to buy, where to sell. I'm definitely on the Euro USD GBP track. If there's somebody that is a GBP odd or something like that, I could, welcome them, and then we could share ideas. And then somebody else that is, USD JPY, we could all work together and, help each other. So that's where I'm at with this, and hope you guys got something out of it. And if you do, let me know in the comments. And if not, I'm sorry. Go watch another channel. That's all I can say. But no, hopefully you got something out of this, and hopefully you guys will be back soon, and maybe I can do another one on maybe the metals, or they're concerned, or maybe even the SPX market, SPX 500, something like that. Who knows? I'll be trying to come up with some more videos very, very soon. All right, thanks guys, and just remember to keep your pants on.